We have some big news right now. Donald Trump woke up this morning and demanded that the United States have a new census. This is significant because a census is essentially a count of everyone living or residing in the United States of America. And while Donald Trump now demands that the Department of Commerce starts on a new census that excludes all undocumented immigrants in the United States, that is likely unconstitutional. Why? Because a census is done every 10 years. There was one done in 2020. There should be one done next in 2030. And a census counts everyone who is residing in the United States of America. In fact, a census is actually mandated by the United States Constitution under Article 1, Section 2, and demands the count of all persons residing in the United States, regardless of citizenship status. Now, the last census was done in 2020, but he wants a new one done right now, even though the next one's not supposed to be done until 2030. And remember when in his first term, he wanted to add a citizenship question to the census, and that was struck down by the Supreme Court? Well, this is the same thing. Essentially, it's just a workaround that he's trying to find. And if this is done the way he wants it to be done, theoretically, it could have altering effects for congressional maps across the country.
Hello, wonderful good people. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. I'm Marvin for those who are new here, and please and kindly feel free to hit the subscribe icon below and follow my page. If you find this video educative and of value and of essence, you can as well share to your family and friends for it to reach a high magnitude of people. Also, don't forget to like this video. On today's episode, our focus will be in America, but will major on Donald J. Trump. With the first video we have just watched, we can clearly get to understand the subject matter. We will be talking about Trump's recent urge to hold a census before the due date in 2030. This has come at a surprise point. Why would Donald Trump want a new census, and it was done in 2020? USA holds its census after 10 years, and the last one was in 2020, and it is due to be taken in 2030. But Donald Trump has power in his hands. That's why he is urging the Department of Commerce to hold a new census, but he will leave out immigrants. Only the citizens of the United States will be counted as part of the country census. Well, this is so sad to the immigration department, because I believe America relies on immigrants for majorly on the workforce, and the citizens of that country, many of them don't work hard as immigrants who are there. A large percentage of population in the United States is made up of illegal immigrants. I believe Trump is trying to counter the numbers of immigrants in his country. Other sources say it is a method of trying to rig the next general elections. Why would you all of a sudden decide to jump into conclusion? The law doesn't allow that. The law clearly defines census to be done after every 10 years. But Donald Trump, with power in his hands, it is believed he is beginning to be a dictator in this regime. Having the videos above, you will clearly understand what I mean. Donald Trump has an urgent urge for the census to be done fresh, and we don't know if it will be tomorrow, the following week, or it will be next month. It is provided that the census done immediately. This is so sad. MAGA is furious at this, because they believe Trump is beginning to take control over the government by being a dictator. Let's watch the following videos I've compiled for you people, and come back at the end and discuss the subject matter. Make sure to watch the end and like this video.
Now, what I'm about to explain to you might sound normal at first, but let me tell you what's really going on, because this should frighten you. Donald Trump has ordered that cities and states conduct census counts before the decade is over, as in right now. Now, why is this not normal? Well, census counts are normally conducted every decade. So the last one was done in 2020. The next one is supposed to be done in 2030. This allows us to count our population so we know how to adjust for the House of Representatives. Now, Donald Trump is saying he wants to do it right now, right as Texas is redistricting their map so they can add 5 additional Republican seats. He wants other red states to be able to conduct mid-decade redistricting efforts, and by doing the census now, he'll have every excuse in the book to tell the country that it was perfectly okay for them to try and find votes, for them to try and rig and cheat on the midterm elections, on the 2028 election. So this is absolute insanity right now. Hopefully this doesn't come to fruition, but with Donald Trump, when he wants something, he usually does it. And this is one that is definitely going to have serious ramifications for our country.
Donald Trump woke up this morning and had the bright idea to say that he's demanding a new census. The census is done every 10 years, and it's mandated by the Constitution, and it is inclusive of all persons who reside in the United States of America, regardless of citizenship status or regardless of where they're from. The last census was done in 2020, and the upcoming census is scheduled to be done in 2030. He is demanding that there be a new census right now to exclude all people who aren't American citizens. It's unconstitutional, and it most likely will be stricken down. But we have to take these things seriously because everything he's done since January has been unconstitutional and has been outside of the scope of the status quo of this country. He tried to, in his first term, you don't remember, he wanted to add a citizenship question to the census. That was struck down by the Supreme Court. But the courts, the government, the country, and the sentiment of this country is different from his 2016 term to now. So we have to ask ourselves, will we be getting a knock at our door for a census in a couple of months? I'm not doing one until 2030, that's for sure.
Trump's playing dictator again, and make no mistake, ordering a new census is by far his biggest dictator move. He thought he could waltz in and give his edict. I shall have 5 more seats in Texas, quite frankly. But instead, Big Daddy Newsom and Kathy Hochul are fighting fire with fire. The Democratic lawmakers aren't playing ball, and J.D. Pritzker is keeping them safe in Illinois. He's doing this to redistrict seats because he's worried about the midterms in 2026, and more importantly, he's worried about the Electoral College map in 2028. Oh, and he needs to be impeachment proof. This is a play out of Bukele's playbook, and the consolidation of power is the reason that he is now able to run indefinitely. To be clear, this is blatantly unconstitutional, not just on the timing, but also on who is counted. Article 1, Section 2 states that the census is to be taken every 10 years. Trump's hearkening to a nasty part of history when he talks about who shouldn't be counted. For the first 100 years, Native Americans weren't counted in the U.S. Census, and the 3/5 Compromise codified the marginalization of Black people until the 14th Amendment specifically stated that whole numbers of persons in each state were to be counted. Hear that? It's whole numbers of persons, not citizens.
So Donald Trump has ordered the Department of Commerce to do a new census. And if you know anything about census, they're supposed to be done every 10 years. We had one done in 2020. So our next one is not set to be done until 2030. And the census takes account everybody in the United States, not just legal residents. He is trying to have this census just count legal residents. And during his last term, he tried to pull the same stunt, and it got shot down by the courts. So this is illegal, and I am just over it. I am just over every single day him waking up, thinking that he's a king, thinking that he can do whatever he wants. So keep your eye out. Apparently he wants a new census done. It's wild. Every day is just absolutely absurd. And I know I can't be the only one that's sick of the constant breaking news.
President Trump is calling for a new census count that does not include non-citizens of the United States. As it stands right now, under the U.S. Constitution and existing law, the president cannot unilaterally order a new nationwide census count for the primary purpose of apportionment or redistricting. However, that may be changeable. Here's what you need to know. The current Census Act does permit a mid-decade census, but it cannot be used for congressional apportionment or redistricting. Changing that will face legal challenges and require Congress to alter the existing Census Act. The Constitution empowers Congress to carry out the actual enumeration of the country's population. Presumably, they have the authority to interpret which people the census includes and change the precedent of when the census is taken. Deniers will most certainly try to get it before the Supreme Court.
This is literally the entire ball game. If Donald Trump is successful at getting this done, it literally changes everything. Earlier this week, Trump posted this over on his Truth Social account, and it has the left losing their minds. He's instructed the Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census, which would remove undocumented immigrants from the counts. Do you understand the impact that counting non-citizens and undocumented immigrants in the census has on the American people, on congressional apportionment, on allocation of funds, on everything? It is the only reason why Democrats have any type of political hold on this country whatsoever. Let me show you what I found that's going on in just one state. This post over on X is showing you data from the most recent census in the state of Virginia. It's showing you the proportion of non-citizens that were counted in every single House district throughout Virginia. Between 12 and 15% of every House district in that state is made up of non-citizens. These are all people who are counted in the census and are used to determine apportionment of representation across that state. You see, Democrats learned a long time ago that the census doesn't particularly care whether someone is a citizen or a non-citizen. They're still counted in the way they apportion representation across the country. And that representation also equates to electoral college votes. So when there's an open border and millions of people flood into the country and they go live in these districts, that means those districts have a higher population, which get more representation in both the state legislatures and Congress. So using the state of Virginia as an example, if between 12 and 15% of every House district is made up of people who can't vote, but are included in the census to determine the proportion of representation, extrapolate that out across the country. It is estimated that Democrats could lose 30 or more House seats simply by no longer counting non-citizens in the census.
They used to count black people as only 3/5 of a person. Now, Trump wants to count immigrants as 0. Trump just announced a new U.S. Census plan where he aims to erase undocumented immigrants from it entirely. That means that millions of people who live, work, and raise families here wouldn't be counted at all. No political representation, no federal funding, no voice, which means that history is repeating itself again. 1787, the 3/5 compromise said that enslaved people only counted as 3/5 of a person. This was done so white slaveholders could hold more seats in Congress. Now in 2025, Trump wants to use that same logic to erase immigrants while benefiting from where they live without letting their voice be counted. Which, by the way, friendly reminder that all immigrants pay taxes, despite the lies that the media want you to believe. If immigrants haven't suffered enough already these last few months in the US, they could now potentially be voiceless. More than ever, we need to actually find ways to support those that actually represent us.
If you're still here with me, thank you. And congratulations to you. God bless America. God bless the Black American community. And God bless this regime. With the videos we have just watched, what's your take? Do you support the recent urge of Donald Trump to hold a serious census again before the due year in 2030? Many of the MAGA supporters are not in for the idea because many believe that it is a method of trying to rig the next general elections coming up. Trump clearly sees he is not going to get into power the next general elections. That's why he's looking for ways and possible means for him to get to know the number of people who can vote and try to implement and disarrange the elections which are coming to America. This is so sad because Trump is joking with power. He believes that he is at the top of the chain. That's why he just wakes up one morning and he takes matters into his hands and say, I want to hold a general census without immigrants counted in. Many people also say they will not participate in the census because it will be illegal and against the constitution. Trump also gets what he wants. With this urgent urge, it is believed also that it will come to pass because he gets what he wants. These policies will favor him. Many people believe Trump is joking around with power because he is supposed to be helping the American economy instead of focusing on things that don't bring up the economy in the United States. This is so sad to the American people, the citizens, the law-abiding citizens. Trump is supposed to put up measures to help the less fortunate, to help grow the economy, to help and to reduce tariff wars, the recent tariff wars with China. That's what Trump is supposed to be focusing on, not trying to focus on things that don't add more value to the economy in the United States. Well, MAGA is very, very furious with this statement for Donald J. Trump. You wake up one morning and just say, I want a census to be held. This shows how power or being in power can give somebody such kind of heart because he believes he is above the law and anything he wants, he gets. This is so sad to the American people. Let's boycott this move. I believe not all people will participate in it, but the immigrants who are in the United States also, they are supposed to be taken into consideration because they are also there to balance the economy in United States. What's your take in this episode? Do you support Donald J. Trump move to hold a general census before 2030? Or what are his intentions of holding a census without consultation of the law, without consultation of the public, without consultations of his members in his cabinet? Well, also share your response and I will reply and I will humbly engage with you people. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless your family. See you on the next episode, family. Goodbye.